types of pitches. After this video, we'd like you to be comfortable with putting together and delivering 3 pitches that we'll focus on today. The first is the elevator pitch. Then we'll talk about the teaser or demo pitch, and lastly, the investor pitch. The simplest is what's often called the elevator pitch or introductory pitch. This is a quick, and I mean quick, introduction to your company. It's literally 30 to 60 seconds long. In the fewest words possible, tell someone what you do. It's called an elevator pitch because the idea is you should be able to give it when you walk into an elevator in a lobby, close the door, and you can tell somebody what you do before they get off on their floor. There are numerous scenarios where you'll be using this elevator pitch, other than an elevator. For instance, networking events, where you'll be keeping this question in mind, you'll be talking about it regularly. People will say, so what are you working on? So what do you do? Your elevator pitch may be your opening statement in your demo day pitch or during an investor pitch. It says in the shortest way who you are, what you do, and why it's important. Imagine the CEO of Uber meets an investor in an elevator and they ask him, what do you do? Have you ever been frustrated with finding and paying for a cab? Uber solves this. We save commuters time, money, and frustration in their daily transportation needs by connecting drivers and riders via an app-based platform. We make money on every ride and expect to deliver tens of billions of rides. That's it. That's the whole pitch. No talk about how the tech works. No talk about how they share revenues with their drivers. No talk about the data aspects of the business. Just what you do, why what you do is needed and paid for, and how you make money, and why this is a great investment. The next is a teaser pitch or demo pitch, which is a pitch expected from you at, let's say, a demo day, like a Y Combinator day or a startup weekend or something like that. So you're in let's say, a pitch competition. Here you typically have anywhere from 3 to 7 minutes to pitch your business to an audience. But just because you have that much time, you don't necessarily have to take it all. You want time for questions and to engage in conversation. You want to tell them what they want to hear about, not what you want to talk about. Each different pitch serves a different purpose and objective. Your elevator pitch is to be your most used pitch when you're networking, you're at conferences, meetups with other founders, investors, etc. Think of it as an icebreaker to get your investors to sit up and listen. The teaser or demo pitch is not just to get an investor's attention, but it's to get their interest. You're giving them a very high-level summary of not just what you do, but how and why this is a good business, how your product solves a significant problem for a big market, how you're going to capture it, what the business model is, and how you're going to make money, why you have a sustainable competitive advantage, and how your investor will make a bunch of money if they invest in you. This is a 40,000-foot look. What is the landscape? Not how do you grow your vegetables, the product's features, in a garden. Investors need to first get the full picture before they start looking into details. Give them everything at a high level, and then slowly dive down into a few things so they know you, your product, and the problem, and the financials work. The biggest problem I see universally in this short pitch is that entrepreneurs try to pack in as much as possible into their allotted time. There's a saying, less is more. Packing more in a slide and speaking faster will not win you an investor's interest. You want to give them a picture and you want them to feel, they want them to catch your excitement about the business. A demo pitch is meant to entice, to awaken interest, not to sell an investment in your company. First, you have to sell yourself, the biggest thing any sophisticated investor invests in. Then the opportunity. You need to move them, get them to lean forward in their seat. You want them to ask you to tell them more. Your teaser pitch should address what the problem is, what the solution you're offering is, what the market looks like, your business model and how it's unique, sustainable, and interesting, how you have a really strong team to execute on this business model, what your traction is right now, and what you're planning next. How are you going to use the next round of funding, and what will you achieve with it? Remember, what's the objective of a demo day pitch? It's to get your listener to remember a couple of key things to talk about with you later. That's it. That's all. If you're confusing because you're telling too much or spending too much time on features or you're unremarkable, you won't achieve your objective. If you're tentative, reserved, or unclear, they won't bother to talk to you again. Your demo pitch is like the elevator pitch in that it's to gain your listeners' attention, but also their interest, their imagination, and their curiosity. You actually don't want to answer all their questions. You want them to want to ask you some. How do you do that? How did you get that reaction from your product? Why does it work that way? How will you make money? Tell me more about the market. Why is it the best team in the world to execute on your plan? Once they want to come up and ask you questions, you won. Your job is done. That's it. Remember, in a pitch that's part of a group of pitches, yours has to be memorable. It's remarkably hard to remember one pitch from another after hearing 10 or 15 pitches. As an investor, I only have enough time to go see maybe 4 or 5 of the people that I heard the pitches from. What's going to make me make sure to go seek you out and find out about yours? We'll talk a lot more about what goes into your pitch, how to develop great compelling slides to accompany your pitch, and how to deliver it later. For now, start to think about how you filter what you do to give a very high-level pitch that's memorable. Remember, 2 or 3 things at the most that stand out, that are compelling, that excite your audience. And it makes them want to engage with you, ask you questions, and consider an investment in you.